Time for the City Business News brought to you by Goyle, MTN, and EcoBank. Larte is joining us with the bulletin.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
Hello there, good morning. Welcome to the breakfast edition of City Business News on 97.3 Citi FM. The bulletin is brought to you by MTN, Goyle, and EcoBank. Coming up this morning, you could be paying more for goods and services soon as government begins crucial talks with transport unions over possible increment in fares. Also, push for fiscal prudence intensifies among economic players as IMF government talks on budget enters day 2, and later the John Dramani Mahama government is just a month old, but our business is preparing for the 24-hour economy shift. To explore how some companies are implementing the policy and the motivation thereof. I am Larte, details shortly. Now, government is set to continue crucial talks with transport operators, including the Ghana Private Road Transport Union, as pressure mounts over potential fare hikes. The discussions come in the wake of the third consecutive increase in fuel prices this year, fueling concerns among both drivers and commuters. Transport Minister Joseph Bukari Nikpe in a media engagement expressed confidence over a favorable outcome from the meeting.
Unofficially, I've engaged them, and tomorrow we'll be engaging them too. And so I wouldn't want to say anything about them till I have fully engaged them. But they are cooperating. If you watch over the news portals, you will see that they've written to their colleagues to give us some time, meaning that we are in a process of having better understanding as to how much they will charge our passengers. So we are talking with them. Tomorrow we'll continue. We do not want to make anything public because they are not here. I have their trust that they will work with us and we will get to some agreement or to some level that will be beneficial to all of us. That is not for me to say today. I am engaging them. So let the engagement be done and we'll see what will come next.
Joseph Bukari Nikpe is Minister responsible for transport. Now, talks between the government and the International Monetary Fund entered second day today, with market analysts urging the government to prioritize fiscal prudence by focusing on expenditure rationalization to address the budget deficit. The fiscal deficit is projected to narrow to 4.2% this year as fiscal consolidation efforts continue. The government has already signaled cost-cutting measures by reducing the number of ministers to 60 and banning non-essential foreign travels for appointees. In an interview with City Business News economist Professor Peter Korte expressed optimism that the discussions will further anchor the country's growth trajectory.
I think the fiscal consolidation efforts to continue. We should try and spend reasonably. We should try and spend within budget, because you've seen the stability it's bringing, the confidence the IMF program is also bringing to us. My only concern now is whether the IMF might want to revise our program and maybe accommodate additional resources, given the challenge with USA that is affecting certain inflows. But nevertheless, there are other options. I expect transparency and frankness on the part of government, as well as frank discussion from the IMF. I believe this will augur well. I expect this transparent discussion to continue, and if there is a need to tighten the fiscal space a bit more, that should be done.
That was economist Professor Peter Korte. Now, the government is being advised to maintain its strategy of avoiding excessive treasury bill subscriptions to drive down yields. This approach will have a ripple effect on other long-term investment instruments, improving overall market stability. At the last auction, the government returned over 2.9 billion Ghana cedis to investors following an oversubscription, which signaled a disciplined approach to borrowing. Senior partner at AB and David Africa, David Ofosudote, tells Citi Business News that sustaining this strategy will promote market diversification and long-term growth.
Every month, or is it every 3 months, Bank of Ghana will hold a monetary policy committee. I don't pay attention and announce a number and drop. I am happier with the news I heard this morning that the government took a decision to reject treasury bills oversubscribed, and then treasury bills will drop. It's actually practical. Why? Because it forces people to invest in long-term funding and equities, and the stock exchange then increases. Then we find other sources of increasing our investments and as it were being able to increase. So if I do that, now, if monetary policy, Bank of Ghana drops the rate or increases the rate, it doesn't really matter to me that much.
David Ofosudote is senior partner at AB and David Africa. More on the economy, because the concept of a 24-hour economy is gaining traction as businesses recognize the economic and social benefits of round-the-clock economic initiative. The policy, which seeks to break away from the traditional 9-to-5 work structure, is driving companies to explore shift systems. In this report, Netele Ajao and Daniel Sakiti explore how companies are implementing the policy and the motivations driving the shifts.
Among the early adopters is the Universal Motors Limited, a major automobile dealer that has begun piloting an additional shift system. The company sees this as an opportunity to enhance customer satisfaction by extending service hours. Management believes that if the pilot proves successful, it could lead to increased employment as more workers will be needed to sustain the extended operational hours. Subi Akkad is Chief Executive Officer of Universal Motors Limited.
So far, the feedback has been positive. Our operations run in 2 shifts, the first from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and the second from 12 p.m. to 9 p.m. Security is always a concern, but we have implemented robust measures to ensure safety and provide transportation to a central location for staff working late hours. Although operational costs such as electricity and transport have increased, we remain optimistic that this initiative will yield higher returns. By being the first to implement it and only automobile company offering this level of service, we hope it will set us apart in the market.
But while some businesses are testing the waters, others that already operate 24 hours are highlighting critical challenges. District 24 restaurant, which has been running on a round-the-clock model, is stressing the need for government-backed policies, calling for enhanced security and tax waivers to ease operational costs. One of the supervisors at the restaurant, Bismarck Adams, says for such businesses, sustaining profitability in a 24-hour economy would depend on a supportive policy framework that addresses challenges.
We need support because it's not easy for someone to having like 500 employers in Ghana here. It's not easy. So if any support will come, we'll be very, very, very grateful about it. At least if maybe they can put maybe some effort in financially, we'll be very grateful about it because sometimes maybe like there's a lot of challenges. Like I said earlier, the gas is on 24/7, the light is on 24/7. So if any measures or if maybe any support or something like that, we'll be appreciating about that one.
The shift is not limited to the private sector. The Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority has indicated its willingness to transition to a 24-hour service delivery. If fully implemented, this could significantly reduce bottlenecks at its offices, improving efficiency for businesses and individuals alike. Julius Nikwe Kolte is Acting Chief Executive Officer of the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority.
When you want to do re-registration or license registration, what prevents you from coming to do it in the evening? Is it that we need extra lights? We need what do you need? We have all the projects over there available, so we'll just activate it and we'll start. So the 24-hour economy in DVLA will start with the Okada registration as soon as possible.
Acting Chief Executive Officer of the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority, Julius Nikwe Kote, Ending that report put together by my colleagues Netele Netajahu and Daniel Sakite. Now, the World Trade Organization chief has highlighted both opportunities and stark challenges facing Africa in the global AI revolution. Speaking at the AI Action Summit in Paris on Monday, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala pointed to AI's potential to transform developing economies while laying bare the infrastructure gap holding back adoption across the continent. According to the WTO boss, some 600 million people in Africa do not have access to electricity, a challenge that can undermine the continent's AI adoption efforts. She's been speaking on what Africa must do if it is to benefit from the global AI adoption.
I think that Africa must focus on basic infrastructure. We are not going to make it for AI adoption unless we move faster, and that means we have to work even faster with the multilateral organizations. I totally applaud the effort being made by African Development Bank and the World Bank to bring electricity to 300 million. We need to double that and get us on the grid, because if we are going to be part of AI. Second, Africa must reduce its own internal costs. You heard what I said about, the costs confronting us. If we are to adopt AI, we are to make good use of it. We also need to look at our own internal bureaucracies and the costs confronting investment. Invest for AI to work. We need to invest.
Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala is the Director General of the World Trade Organization. The summit in Paris is discussing, among other things, new and emerging opportunities and threats within the AI space and how the international community can put in place guardrails to ensure the responsible use of the technology for the benefits of humanity and the global economy. And that's it for the breakfast edition of Citi Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Goel and EcoBank. My name is Larte. On the forex markets, the dollar trading at 16 cedis, the British pound at 19 cedis 40 pesos, that of the euro going for 16 cedis 50 pesos. Do have a good business day.
Every day, people have money emergencies. Ma,